call this meeting of the DEIC to order at 5 p.m. And Elena.
Let's see, Chair Beatty,
Here.
Committee Member Anderley.
Here.
Committee Member Andrews,
Here.
Committee Member Roshtu,
Here.
Committee Member Stout,
Here.
and then Committee Member Abels is not here yet. She did say she'd be joining online, so if she joins, I will mark the time.
Okay. Welcome, Nicole. We didn't say hi to you.
Hi, Nicole. Hi, everybody.
Glad you could all join us. I need a motion for the consent agenda for last month's meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And we need to vote.
Aye.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, so we're skipping over number 3, right?
Yeah.
And
We need to.
sure. Do you want to explain it a little bit?
Okay, so we had someone scheduled to give a presentation, and unfortunately that person was not able to meet the presentation. So we may have someone scheduled in the future. We're still working on this project, but the person that we had scheduled, due to situations that we could not control, has backed out. So there will be no presentation from a Narcan administrator tonight.
Yep. So we'll do that in the future. And are we skipping over committee business number 4A? I'm thinking we are.
Yeah.
What, did you want to give Shannon a chance at that point to talk about the list of things that she sent to the
Shannon,
committee?
did you want to talk at all about the list of resources, or do you just want us to look it over and give you some of our feedback right now?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I haven't been able to talk to them. I've sent out one email, but I wanted to get your opinions first on which ones you would be interested in, if any.
Okay.
So Lines for Life, I guess my question would be, are they a local entity or are they outside of our state?
No, all of these entities are Oregon-based.
Okay. Do we know where Lines for Life is based?
I think there should be a, well, nope, I did not get their addresses put on there.
That's okay.
Only
I'm gonna look it up right now really quick.
Okay.
Let's see here.
I put it together a little bit quickly. I apologize.
Suicide line.
That's okay. So if anyone has any feedback for Shannon on this list of resources.
Lines
please-
for Life seems to be a suicide line, not a drug prevention line.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's just something we could add to resources if we put together something for
Okay, so and will it's the Multnomah County Health Department. If you called that, I have a feeling that they would refer you to the Clackamas County Health Department or DHS.
Right.
Mhm.
So,
was
looks
that
like-
who we were talking to, Denise?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Was that who we were talking to?
No, we were talking to the Esticated Prevention Alliance, which is its own entity. It's a separate, it's its own thing.
Looks like Lines for Life is based in Portland.
Yeah, it's just a suicide thing.
So they're definitely local.
Have you seen anything from Clackamas County about Narcan and drug prevention and things like that?
There are a few on that list that have access to free Narcan. I need to do further research. I had a little bit of a hard time out in the
Yeah, I
forest.
understand it was last minute because someone backed out. But we're gonna focus on Clackamas County because we're not in Multnomah County.
Right.
Clackamas County.
Yeah. Yeah, if we call anything in Multnomah County, they're gonna say, where do you live? And as soon as you say it, they're gonna say, okay, well, you need to call this other number.
Sounds good.
I have a woman's name and phone number that I can give you that has some really deep connections with Clackamas County, and also Kimberly Abels from our committee. She would be a good resource as well.
And Clackamas County came out and did Narcan training to our public works guys last year. And so we have that same contact who we could connect with again.
I would love if you
That's
would share
good.
that contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, share that with Shannon. That would be great.
Would that be something you're interested in, having them come out and do the
Do
training?
you know her?
I know her name. I know that name. What do I know? that
She's
name?
like Clackamas County.
I know that name.
Yeah, she runs Estacada Connect. the
Okay,
meeting.
okay, that's where I know the name.
Yeah.
from. She ran that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was wonderful. I went to that last one and that was,
Yeah, pretty awesome, huh?
yeah.
All right,
So-
so
A question for the committee, would the committee be interested in having someone come and do a talk on, Narcan?
I would. I think I think the communities, especially rural outlying communities where it takes a while for the cops to get there, they need
Mhm.
Narcan.
yeah,
Okay, so that original idea is still,
Yes. Yes. I
Yeah.
totally agree with your original idea.
yeah, I think
Cool.
we all are on board with that, Shannon.
So
Okay.
the contact at Clackamas County, who we connected with is Katie Knutson, which is KNUTSEN. And they are a program planner in the tobacco substance use and overdose prevention programs.
Part of OLCC?
They're through Clackamas County Health.
Oh, okay.
Can I get maybe an email of that?
Katie Knudsen?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'll email it over to you, Shannon.
Okay.
That's great. Okay, does anyone else have any feedback?
Elaine, I have a question for Elena. You were talking about the public works guys having a training on Narcan. I'm
Yes.
assuming administration. What is like how thorough was that? What or what kind of what's the training like? I mean, are they ready and able and trained to administer to whoever they run into? Sort of
See.
on the clock?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Clackamas County came out, they provided the Narcan to the guys. They did a training on how to administer it, you know, the signs to look for, and they should be keeping it in their trucks.
Okay.
And that's the contact that you gave us just now?
Yes,
Do you have a number for her?
yeah, I will give it to you after the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
Does City Hall have Narcan available?
yeah, it's in,
The fridge.
yeah, I don't think
It
it's
doesn't
in
have
the
to be
fridge.
fridged.
It doesn't have to be refrigerated. It's in a closet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would it be
I-
all right if I shut my camera off?
Yes.
No.
All right, so Shannon's gonna follow up for us and present next meeting, or she'll have a presenter, one of the two.
Might not have a presenter.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah.
Just
Shannon, I still want to work with you on this, okay? So keep in contact with me and we can work together on this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited.
Sounds like a good plan. All right, so outreach communications, can we recap Arts at the Creek? Can you recap how that went?
Arts at the Creek went really well. Putting on my arts commission cap. Kimberly was there for probably 3.5 hours with her very cute dog. And we were set up kind of right in front, bunch of people passing by, also tabled with Parks and Rec. So that's a great idea. Did those supplies get back to, okay, Vincent has them.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I've been out of town for the past 4 days. I didn't transmit that information back to you or back to Alex yet.
I did try
Oh.
to find them.
Yeah, no, he took them home. That's why they were unfindable. He contacted me on like Tuesday and told me that. Yeah, no, things went really well. I definitely think that we should take whatever opportunity for the rest of the summer to just table at events, or like when the What's Up SDK happens and stuff like that. Like I said, Kimberly's very skilled at outreach. And I was kind of running around like an idiot. So she was holding it down. I think it went really well.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Kimberly, welcome.
She has her
You
hand
want to
raised.
Tell us how it went.
Yes, I met some very nice people. And we had lots of good conversation. The one thing that I will say is the Parks Committee had their survey printed out and they got a lot more people to take it by having it printed out.
Okay.
Just because it was right there, no one had to scan anything. So I think as helpful as QR codes can be, that would be something I would note for the future is let's print some out and then you just stick it in someone's hand and
Cool.
they got a lot more respondents to their survey than we did because they had something readily available.
Was it all printed out or were they just given something like a Q code?
The whole thing was printed out. It was front and back and people stood there and filled it out.
It wasn't like ours.
Okay. That's old school. That's surprising.
There's a lot of us who are old school. Okay, just saying. All right. So we'll get some printed surveys for the next event. Okay, and I did not go to the concert, so I don't have anything to tell you about that. What is the next event? I know we have concerts still coming up, but I don't think people table at those because it looked like, to me, from what I could tell, I mean, I didn't go to the concert, but when I went to get your stuff, it didn't look like, I didn't even see tables. So I don't know where the tables were.
They're in the closet.
I went in the closet, unless it was the
In the
closet that
building?
was locked. There
In the
was a
building?
locked closet. Yeah, I went in the
Oh, yeah.
building.
Uh-huh.
I went in the building. There was this big closet that I walked in and there were a lot of chairs.
Yeah,
And there should have been like
12 tables.
12 tables leaned up against the wall there too.
I didn't see any tables.
Okay.
Table thief.
So I
Yeah,
thought,
we better find out what happened to the tables.
who knows?
So sometimes we'll have people there, like we've had the caramel corn lady, the kettle corn lady. It just depends.
So how do we know if someone else is going to table? So we're not the only ones there.
I mean, I don't think we do. I think we just kind of take the initiative, like go do it. I still have like legit 200 of those freezy pops in the freezer, because the cardboard box insulated them so well, they didn't freeze, in time.
Oh,
But they were a huge hit with the Job Corps kids that came down and helped or whatever.
That's cool.
But we should sort of refine the tabling strategy with, like Kimberly saying, some of the printed survey stuff and just like go post up and give people treats. And I think that night in particular was probably kind of a wash because everyone had been there 12
Yeah,
hours before.
right. I think we need to choose weekends where we just do one event. I think doing two is too much
Right.
for our staff and probably for the community. I don't know. But anyway, so the next one would be the concert. I think there's another concert coming up.
the next
Sorry,
concert is August 11th.
August 11th. So what day is that falling?
Sunday, I think they all are.
They're all on Sundays.
Oh,
Yeah, it's next week.
Mhm. It's it starts at 2.
okay.
And they're earlier than they used to be, right? They used to be like
Yes.
4 to 6 or something
Yeah.
like that. Okay. That also kind of factors in. It's always that. Well, there are parks events at some of the different subdivisions in town, like they had one at, or is that somebody else doing those? There are summer music concert events at like Campanella at the park or whatever, but these
or
are all.
I'm assuming that those would be the HOAs, maybe organizing all of this, the ones the city is planning that
All right, wait.
are at Wade Creek Park.
Where the
So
skate park is.
the
north
new,
side up
the
by
new
the
part
library, on
by the
other side of
library.
I think the schools were doing something at different parks. I forget what it was called,
Is that what
but they
that
were
is?
having some events. I know they had one at Campanella, I think maybe this past weekend or the weekend before, and they were doing one at the Eagle Creek Park. It was a bunch of different locations. So that might be what you're thinking of.
Okay, yep, that sounds right. Um,
Well, I don't care when we table, but you guys need to tell me, because I don't want to do it by myself. See, I'm a social person. I like going and hanging out with
If you
people.
brought one of your goats, we would get so many people at the table.
Or my house rabbit.
We can, oh yeah,
Dang.
rabbits would work.
Yeah.
Can we get, if I promise to return the materials that I borrowed, can we get some more stuff printed out survey wise?
Yeah, you can
Um,
get more surveys printed, no
okay.
problem.
Sure.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
You'll do what tomorrow?
Return the stuff that I borrowed that hasn't made it back yet.
Yeah, you didn't make points with Elena, and I didn't know where it was. So, anyway, it's no big deal. All right. So next concert is next Sunday. And then isn't there, after that, isn't there one like on the,
There's the one on the 25th of August also.
and what are the hours again? 4 to 6?
2, they start at 2,
Oh, 2 to what?
2 to probably
4.
4.
Yeah, they're 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 to 4. Okay, and then the next other, so that is the only events, right? Between now and September. Otherwise, then we have Oktoberfest.
Is National Night Out, so it's probably too late to plan for National Night Out.
What's the K to do for that?
The Traffic and Public Safety Committee has it set up there in the triangle lot in front of the fire district, and they have the fire trucks out there, and then the Clackamas County Sheriffs come down and people can come and talk and meet and
Is there
mingle.
food?
I don't think they're giving away food, but I think that there's gonna be food carts there.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
It is just kind of trying to get people out on the street and
Yeah.
downtown and sort of just
Yeah,
be in the mix.
that makes sense.
Do we have any sort of table ready information that is about the natural hazard mitigation plan that we can include? Or are we just sort of trying to assemble our strategy for that as it pertains to Estacada specifically, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I could print up the natural hazard mitigation plan, but it is,
Hella big.
long.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't have like little snippets.
Maybe
Yes,
is that
there's
the
your
kind of
emails.
thing, yeah, it is in the emails, but
Yeah.
is that the kind of thing where, is there a county, uh, like if we had a QR code that people could scan to be like, if you want to know about the county hazard, before we sort of have something specifically curtailed to Estacada, that we could just have as a sort of link, a resource link? Or is that not?
So the plan itself, I mean, while people are welcome to read it, I don't know that it's very engaging to the general public. And the Clackamas County has their plan up on their website, the same as we do have our
Okay.
plan up on our website. But it is kind of more, strategies for us to do to engage.
Right.
And I know the county has like, they have a site up right now for cooling.
Mhm.
So they'll have different sites up depending on what you need to be concerned about in the
Okay.
season. And we have started, and if you guys want to gather and find information to share, we do have an emergency response page or something. I can't remember
Oh,
what the
the
title.
sign up, that's what also Kimberly was doing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, okay, I'm sorry, I'm like trying to just answer my own questions. That would be great, is if we have that as sort of a anchor conversation starter, and then also a place where people can sign up. We'll be in good shape.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's an emergency preparedness page
Mhm.
which does not have a whole lot of information. So if people are interested in, right now, it's just about heat. So it has information about the cooling shelters
Gotcha.
and staying cool.
Is there another cooling shelter in Estacada?
Hey,
So the library serves as kind of a cooling shelter, but just during normal library hours.
Okay.
So they
I
don't
can
have
direct
extended
someone-
hours.
It's okay to go and just hang out there. Okay.
So, Kimberly, do you have something you want to include in the next tabling event?
Do you guys still have all the stuff I left at the last one?
well, since Vincent's here, is all that stuff at your house? It's in your car? Is your car here?
Yes.
Well, well, we're talking about tabling. Are you guys gonna table any more events this summer? Yeah, okay, so then we're sort of answering our own. This is great. This is great. You guys are.
Here, Vincent.
Yes. Yeah, I picked up all your stuff after the last concert in the
Right.
park. So if you don't have anything before this next Sunday, I can take it with me and I can just set it out on the Parks and Rec table if you guys like. If not, or if you guys have, I forget if the National Night Out is before that
That's
or not.
tomorrow, I guess.
Okay, then I have it all in the trunk and I can give it to you guys.
Are you guys also tabling tomorrow?
No, we won't be there tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now sidebar, I'm sorry, this is so unorganized. The flyers and stuff that you gave me that were in the front office, do you need that immediately? Okay, okay. So if you don't mind, we'll just sort of do that and we'll be parallel with you guys and
Perfect.
that'll be the plan. And I'll be down there on Sunday. So if you want to come,
Thank you for doing.
You'll be down
Tammy and I
at the
will,
concert.
yeah,
Oh, I can go to the concert Sunday
cool.
since I was bad and didn't go last week. Okay, so Sunday, the 11th. Can someone commit to take, the 25th? I cannot do the 25th. But if a couple of you can, then we could decide to do that now.
That's a Sunday.
Yep, they're
Sunday,
on
the
Sundays.
25th.
That's also the day before school starts.
Oh,
Well, that
Um,
shouldn't be too, I mean, I'll be here. All of my events for the summer are now wrapped up as far as like going places, and doing
Oh.
things. I'm pretty much here for the rest of the month.
okay. Well, so we'll at least plan on the 11th.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
a
I'll
good-
make it happen on the 25th too,
Okay,
especially if we sort of solidify our strategy with parks and we're
yeah.
good to go.
And I don't know, my day may change, but as of right now, I don't think I can. Okay, so anything else you guys want to table at besides the concerts? That's about it, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything really that's talking
The
about.
rest of the summer?
Yeah.
All right, so Elena, do you want to take the natural hazard mitigation plan?
Turn the remote back on. You had in your goals to help promote some of the items on this plan, especially as they relate to outreach. And that's kind of what we had segued into that earlier, talking about what's on the website. So at the last meeting, I know Kimberly brought information about signing up for emergency alerts. And then I had sent you with information about drought. So drought tolerance and summer watering, et cetera. But there's other things on this list that you guys could help with if you guys wanted to start working on, finding information to share or including that in your upcoming events.
Mhm.
Oh.
We might need to create and maintain a registry of people and agencies willing to assist with evacuating livestock. I can see that would be very helpful to me.
That's on my radar. That's on my radar because I've been seeing in other counties right now where they're evacuating. And I'm seeing communities come together on Facebook saying, if anybody needs a trailer, I've got one, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
Is
so we could,
is that something that we could make like a livestock evacuation Facebook page?
I know
That's sort
after
of
the
piggyback.
last fires, I think Clackamas County started like a registry. So
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that
And
now.
do we have access to contributing people to sign up for that?
I think we could probably collect information and send it to them.
Okay.
Kimberly's
Oh,
raising
Kimberly
her
has her
hand.
hand raised.
Yeah, that's a resource list that I do know Clackamas County is putting together. And two, the SDK to CERT also has done some what they call map your neighborhood, which lets you know who has which kind of resources in the area. And then the third thing is there now is a new recently established Clackamas County Volunteer Organizations Active in Disaster, which is a horribly long name, but it's called a VOAD. And they have all of that information from the last one, and they're working on creating some way to share it back out. They might be a group that would be beneficial to hear from about what they're doing. They sprung out of the long-term recovery group that rebuilt some of the homes after the fires, but
Say the name of that group again.
Clackamas County Volunteer Organizations Active in Disaster. So it's a CCVOAD. It's called a VOAD.
Hey, Kimberly, is there any way that you could generate just some of that information
Yep.
for me to just sit with on Sunday, just to be able to relay to people, not out of my memory?
Yes. Well,
Fantastic.
I will do my
Yeah.
best.
I mean, you could just text it to me. Is that
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Dana?
I'm sorry. I thought you
Okay.
wanted me to make you
We
some
just put
flyers.
'em all in.
Oh, I mean,
They're probably
more
scheduled
so
in.
just like information that I can talk to people
But it's
about.
better than
But
Yeah.
like you said, if it's documented in some way, that'll give me a better strategy.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kimberly, can you, like he said, can you put something together for us and email that out maybe
Sure.
to Elena, and then Elena can send it to all of us?
Yeah.
That would be great. All right, so so then tonight, Elena, are you wanting us to choose a few of these?
You don't necessarily have to choose any of them tonight. I just thought if you were doing more outreach events, there might be things on here that you wanted to include in those outreach events, like we did with the drought information.
Mm-hmm. So you already gave us, we must have flyers then on watering. the
Yes.
Watering,
Yep.
okay,
Mhm. We got
perfect.
those from the Clackamas River Water Providers Network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be a good one. I wonder, is there a book for emergency management staff, like names? That a booklet, has any booklet been made?
Yeah, we're
No.
looking at item 2.
Three.
Yeah, and that would be for emergency management.
Mhm.
Oh, you're looking at item 2, the.
No, item 3.
Okay,
Three.
I was gonna say, item 2 is the CWPP is the Community Wildfire Protection Plan. So that one is through Clackamas County. It's not the city's plan.
Will they actually do anything if there's a wildfire?
It is, has items in it that are supposed to help you prevent, disaster. So things like clearing brush and maintaining safe spaces and home hardening, those kind of things.
I will say, for the benefit of anyone listening, I got a little notice from my insurance agency at the beginning of the summer that said that they will actually have someone come to your home and look for brush around your home and see what needs to be cleared out. So, I mean, you might want to check with your home insurance if you haven't in a while and your house is all overgrown. So
Mhm.
that's out there.
There's still a lot of brush out there that needs to get cleaned up.
It grows overnight, man. I clear my yard. The next day it's a
Sounds clear for you.
No, our property doesn't have any. It's other people's that I see. Okay. So, we will, should we follow up on this again next month?
Talk about that a little bit
in between.
after the meeting. I just what to
But we
put on
wanna-
Sunday.
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, so we'll talk more about that. Okay, so do we have any public comments today? Anyone?
Can I just put something on the record real quick, just for my own little personal interest? I was listening to a podcast this week and Stacey Abrams was one of the presenters and she was talking about DEI and she said she explained it so simply that I was like, yes. And she just said diversity, equity, and inclusion are the core values of this country. Diversity is all people, equity means access to opportunity, and inclusion means a pathway for all Americans. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are proof that the American dream works. And I was like, oh, that's solid. So if we have to sort of start conversations and maybe sort of explain ourselves, for lack of a better wording, that might give us a little bit more of a simplified ground to stand on of just what it really means.
Thank
So-
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacey Abrams.
You might want to give that to Elena for the minutes. Okay, so any public comments that from our people who are here? And
There is no one online, no attendees
Okay.
online.
Okay. Any of the committee have any comments they want to add to Mike's comment? Anyone else have
I want
comments?
to add to Mike's comment. This is a different situation, but I think that we should stay committed to that anti-drug program. Just because one speaker flaked out on us doesn't mean that there's not a lot of really good resources that we could bring to Estacada to help with the drug problem here.
Yeah, and inevitably, just to touch on this, the whole online action, because it's been something that I've had to curtail and explain in my own life as it pertains to the city. People are always going to have kind of negative trolling comments to make about any kind of effort to educate and help the betterment of the community. And it is such a devastating thing to deal with. When people are dying from this, we have to stay committed to that work, regardless of what we're hearing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
online, because there's always some like
Yeah.
nastiness
Yeah.
about trying to do this stuff. So I think it's definitely very worthwhile.
I concur. Okay, so Kimberly or Shannon or Nicole, do you all have anything that you would like to close the meeting with?
One other thing that I took a really good training through the county that was related to suicide prevention that was tied very closely to some of the drug prevention campaigns. And they were able to kind of roll two together to give us kind of an overview of the Narcan training and some good ideas around interrupting suicide conversations, especially since we're seeing the number rise is actually isolated rural men. And so I think there's a conversation that could be had there as well that would line up very well with the Narcan piece. If you all are interested in that, I would be happy to bring more about that to the next meeting as well.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think that all of these things are overlapping sort of circles, you know, that mental health and substance abuse and suicide are all things that are parallel.
Especially
Right. So the more we can kind of make this a holistic issue that we're trying to sort of just touch on, and then of course, you know, a pathway is the inclusion factor. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I did see that Clackamas County is holding a Narcan training actually tonight as we speak, in the Malala Public Library. So I think there's a lot of ways that we can bring it both for us and also open it to the community for a variety of different of these types of training. And as another way, hey, you can come meet us and chat with us while we're going to learn something together as well. So,
Yeah,
Lots
that's
of
great.
resources.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources out there. Narcan is becoming more and more available. It's at almost every pharmacy. You can buy it at almost every pharmacy. It's just everywhere because
Over the counter?
it's over the counter. You can buy it at the Sandy Fred Meyer. It costs around $50.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could even do some kind of fundraiser or something so
We
that,
can do some outreach. There's
Yeah, I
there's a lot
mean,
of people. Yeah,
okay.
there's resources.
There's a lot of money,
So we'll just keep
a lot of
exploring.
money, like grant money.
Are you a grant writer?
I'm not
We're all
going
waiting to
to
hear the
tell
answer
you
to that question.
But before you get too far down that path,
Yeah,
it was not in your budget for this year, so you would have to go back to council to amend your budget if that's something that you wanted to.
okay.
Just an
Even if we got a
FYI.
grant for it,
Your grant still has to go because we have to count money coming in and money going out. That
Gotcha.
all goes into the
Right.
budget. It has to be balanced.
Right.
So the city would have to potentially amend their budget depending on the amount that your grant is. And
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So Nicole or Shannon, I'm going to give you guys opportunity to talk if you have anything else to say before we sign off.
I
Yes,
was
I
just
just-
curious. Oh,
I don't know how to use the, I was just gonna let people know that it's also available at the high school pharmacy.
High school pharmacy. Yeah, so it's available at the high school pharmacy. That's good to know too. Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah.
And Nicole?
I was just wondering for Shannon and Denise, how close were you guys on getting that blurb together so that I could pass it along to the Campanella HOA?
on
Because
getting
they were
what
wanting
together?
kind of, they were wanting like a little bit of an info blurb about the presentation that we would like to do about the drug program so that they could get us on the schedule to come to a meeting.
We
I-
did, but unfortunately our presenter backed out. But
Okay, so it was tied to
fortunately,
that. Okay.
yeah,
Um,
there's so many resources that we'll be able to do what we want to do. There's a lot of resources out there. The grant season has just sprung over. And there's a lot of people out there that are trying to help rural communities right now with this issue because it's an issue in all the rural communities. It's just, it's there.
I can't put my hand up because I can't find it, but there are some resources that supply it for free, so that you don't have to use grant money. And I've been looking into those.
So Nicole, by the end of September,
Oh.
they should have something put together, just so you're aware.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So I did want to say something about, I don't know if, and I realize this is the city and it's not rural Estacada being represented here right this second, but I'm from rural Estacada outside city limits and there is an Estacada CPO that we used to have in Estacada. I know Kimberly, you brought our attention to CPOs a few meetings ago, and I wanted to bring that to the committee's attention. So if there's anyone listening or any of our committee members who live outside the city limits, I would love to see the Estacada CPO revived. So if anyone is interested, they can contact me because I have a whole lot of information on it. So
CPO stand for? I'm ignorant. I'm sorry.
community, oh, you would ask me.
Is it like the Grange? Is it?
It's a community like organization. So like they go and they talk about like any land, what do you call it? Land use it is stuff and other issues that the county might have from our area.
So it's just what the city won't handle, but the county needs to.
It's another entity to give opinions on things, and the county appreciates having that to be able to go to and get opinions from the community, as does, I think, the city, correct, Elena? Don't you guys work with CPOs like the Eagle Creek has a CPO? I don't know if you work with any,
Do you sign up for it or, I mean?
The city doesn't regularly talk to CPOs. We did go up and talk to, I think it was the Eagle Creek when we were looking at potentially moving the wastewater plant out there. So if it is going to impact the neighborhood, that's when we would reach out to them.
okay,
And that's similar to what Clackamas County does, is when there's an issue that's going to be impacting that neighborhood, they'll reach out to that CPO.
yeah, I just thought if we had it revived again, like when you, like, to answer your question, Denise, when you have a meeting, you might have, like, for instance, the Eagle Creek CPO, they meet at the library. So their meetings are at the library, so anyone in Eagle Creek can attend and be a part of that group. You have to attend a certain amount of, there's rules from the county, like you have to attend a certain amount of meetings before you can be a officer. Like they have a treasurer and a, secretary and stuff. But, yeah, so if we revived it, I feel like people outside the city would have, I don't know, more of a
Couldn't you reach
voice.
People that we were originally wanted to reach, the people that don't have internet, the people that don't.
Well, we
Yeah.
could potentially overlap with some of the Granges that are still active. I
Yeah.
mean, I think about Springfield, but I just recently met, I think his name's Rich, who leads the Garfield,
Grange,
Grange, and that's out where we live.
that's up by me,
So I
yeah.
wonder if you do it by township, sort of, or you could have all of rural Estacada. I mean, I think that's one of those, like, what side of the river you live on, and we should look into it, though. I think that's.
Can they serve as a source of information points where you can get information out there so that in times like fire or.
Right.
Yes, yes,
Well,
I
and it
think
is
that's,
just kind of a representative body, right?
yes.
Mhm. I believe they were formed to be a representative body to give feedback on land use issues for the county.
It's a
Yes,
great I would think it'd be a great networking.
yeah, it
So
would
you can
be,
meet people who have trailers if you have 30 sheep. And
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Okay.
yeah. But it would be specifically for, outside of Estacada, not,
Yeah.
not the
Right.
city.
Well, no, that's good though. because-
Yeah, it would give
we
the
need-
people out there a voice. So anyway, so if anyone's interested, I would love to be a part of the group. I'm not sure I'd want to run it.
So how
I
do you
thought
get,
about it, but
if
I
someone
don't
would
think
be
so.
interested, how would they reach out and get involved?
If they want to reach out, they can,
If they email the DEIC email on the website, that goes to Tammy's
Yeah.
inbox.
yep. All right,
And then
so
I think
I,
Vincent wanted to say something.
oh, Vincent.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, with with the litany of issues that rural communities face, like from drug use, homelessness, any way we can be proactive and like going out of our way to like try to look out for the disaffected people within the population. I think any like group or like sort would be great. I would love to see a more like a purely secular like community group where like people potentially meet like once a week, once a month, and try to like rebuild community because even when you go to different organizations, you only really meet the people within that organization.
Right.
So if we had like a community group that was open to everybody, and if we could like build something like that where you could do community outreach through something like that, I think that would be really great. Like whether the resources like to help people deal with like certain things, if they're disillusioned with like certain organizations, stuff like that. Like if you could be just a group for community where people can like come back together, I think that would be a great thing for the city. Also with like just with the different camping ordinances, that I would like to see more of an effort for like organizations that help like proactively fix things instead of retroactively just doing things through legislation.
Yeah.
I would love to see like the city go out and like provide services for people and like do those types of things. But my pitch would be, if I think like a purely secular group where people meet and like could build community, like whether they're outside like Estacada, rural Estacada, like, I think that would go a long way in showing people like, you know, yeah, we live a few miles apart, but we're essentially neighbors. And, you know, most of what DEI is neighbors helping neighbors, you know, going
Right.
through, you know, if someone's going through a tough time, they may not have an organization they want to turn to, but
Right.
they may be more willing if it's like, oh, it's just like people in the community and like they meet and talk and like sometimes they like go fishing or hang out or like have a board game night or something like that.
Right.
So I'm not, I would love to see that within the community. I don't know if anyone would be willing to go through the effort of putting it together and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, when I talked to the county about the CPO, I had assumed that because I didn't know anything about about CPOs, but it's, yeah, they disconnect from the city because the city is its own entity.
Well,
So,
and I got a question. Do you know this, Elena? Could the CPO be a bridge between outreach, like nonprofits like Ant Farm, who do have grant funding to help with the kind of issues that Vincent's touching on, and then to the city? Because I know that a lot of times the city can't interface directly with nonprofits like that to address sort of specific needs.
I don't think I understand your question.
If Ant Farm has money to help with people who are unhoused,
Yeah.
let's say, but they can't necessarily go interface directly with the city to address specific needs, would a CPO help bridge that sort of interaction?
A CPO is another government organization.
Okay.
So it runs through Clackamas County. And I don't know, my assumption would be that Clackamas County would say, if you're wanting to deal with the city, you need to deal with the city. So if it's
Okay.
inside city limits, they tell you to deal with the city.
Gotcha.
And we work with Ant Farm. I mean, the city does work with Ant Farm on projects.
Okay. I know, okay. I'm trying to figure out the process because I know sometimes there's affiliation
it's-
issues
yeah.
or something, you know what I mean?
it's difficult too, because you've got the people outside the city and you've got the people inside the city. And it seems like a lot of times it's just like, nope, you're out there.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, this definitely sounds like something that we could like have coffee or beers and sort
Yeah.
of structure out and
You know, like you guys are doing, like we're all doing a lot of tabling this
Sure,
summer.
sure.
Like we're doing the park survey, you guys are doing a ton of tabling. I'm just saying, if you get like inkling or like if you're talking to people and you start like just asking like, hey, do you feel like you're like a part of the community? Would like a community group be something you'd be interested in? If you just gauge the interest,
yeah,
maybe we can take solid steps to actually like creating something
Right.
that's you know, not affiliated with the city, but more like
right.
something like just a group you can get together with and that type of thing. I
right.
was like, if we can gauge the interest that way and then just see, and then maybe we can backfill and do something and build something on the back end of it, you know?
Do we have any groups like that already in the city that you can think of, Elena? Like, isn't there a group called Estacada Cares or Estacada? There's another group that I've heard about.
There's like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, I think Mike's right. I think that's part of the problem is there's so many groups. And I know there are I think you participate in the Estacada Connects,
Yes.
which is the idea that these groups should be getting together regularly and discussing what each
Yeah,
group is
that was
doing.
I go to a lot of meetings. That was a really useful meeting.
Mhm.
And that might be a really streamlined function or way to kind of filter through rather than having your 3 minutes at the podium
Sure.
for city council meetings and you're trying to get some larger point across, to have a group that sits down and has a 90-minute discussion about this, that, and the other, and then we can have a more concerted effort and sort of focused presentation or something.
Yeah. Oh, so just something to think about. That's
No,
all
it's good. Very good. Thank you for your comments. Anyone else want to speak? Okay.
I have my hand up, figured it
Oh,
out.
Shannon, you want to speak real
I
quick?
just wanted to say that I would be happy to help with outreach to bring people together. I would,
Okay.
if that's what you can do.
Help with outreach after a couple of my programs.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shannon. And you're welcome to join us at the tabling events the next 2 Sundays. All right, go ahead.
So my name is Lisa. I work with Loved One. We work in conjunction with Ant Farm. And so we do rotational laundry events around Clackamas County. Right now, the Estacada laundromat's been closed down, but we're still meeting on the last Wednesday of the month in the parking lot. So send people over there on the last Wednesday of the month. We provide a free meal. We connect people with resources. And so that is something we're doing. It's more of like a parking lot party right now while the laundromat's closed.
Where do you meet?
The Estacada laundromat
At the laundromat?
every last Wednesday of the month while the laundromat's closed.
Parking lot.
Do you know how much longer it's gonna be closed for like a year,
It's
right?
gonna be a long
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Um,
what resources do you offer at these meetings?
We offer, we have free meals, we have peer support, and we connect people with additional resources.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty cool.
Where's the closest laundry service now?
Right now, we're
Sandy?
telling people to go over to Sandy,
Yeah,
and we do that every Thursday in Sandy, every
Oh,
single
okay.
Thursday.
cool.
Yeah, so it's from 11 to 1
Awesome.
every Thursday, and 11 to 1 every last Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to meet up, that's what we do.
Not laundry.
I have a question. Is there any way that we can get information on where the laundromat in Sandy is? Because I've been in Sandy and people from Estacada have asked me where the laundromat is, and I have no idea because I'm
It's,
not from here.
It's behind the Buy Mart. It's in that parking lot, so
Grocery
that's gonna be on,
Grocery outlet.
oh yeah, and the grocery outlet.
On
It's
the
called
Costco.
Cedars Laundromat.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's
Thank
the
you.
name.
Okay, thank you.
So you guys are there which Thursday of the month?
Oh,
Every,
no,
in-
that's
In
Sandy.
Sandy, we're there every Thursday from
Every
11
Thursday.
to 1.
okay, because I
And
have.
last Wednesdays in
The
Estacada.
last Wednesday's in Estacada, and then every Tuesday we're in Molalla.
Okay.
I have some pre-dental clinic flyers to bring you. We're getting geared up for that again this year, so,
Awesome.
okay, awesome. Thank you for
Thanks.
telling us all this. Anyone else?
I have a question. Would it be possible to see if we can, you were talking about bringing people together like once a month. Would it be possible to try to get representatives from each of these groups that help to come?
That's what Estacada Connects is.
Oh, okay. Thought I had an idea there. I'm sorry.
That's what Estacada Connects is Estacada Connects is like the best meeting format I get on because no one has a lot of time so that everybody gets on and they go, this is what I got to offer. I can offer the community this and that. And they go, okay, next. And they go to the next person and they say, what can you offer? I can offer the person. So I encourage everybody to find a way to get onto Estacada Connects because there's not a lot of crosstalk or talk about policies or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
just
a Facebook
what can we
page.
get? It's not a Facebook. I saw it on a Zoom call. How does one get initially onto it? I got an invite.
Yeah, you get invited. Usually it's people that are connected to some community group or county office or
Yeah, it's the
they have a
community.
service, you know,
Yeah.
churches are involved there. So it's not usually just someone from the public that attends those meetings.
Okay.
Not that they couldn't, but they need to be invited by Lynn Deschler. So again, at the city website, I've got an email there for the DEIC. People they can email me and I can hand off Lynn's information, but probably shouldn't do it
No.
here. So,
So how do we get the average citizen to be able to connect, know that all these things exist?
That's our job.
That is the work.
we could make a list of all the groups that Estacada has and
Doesn't
maybe.
City Hall have a list of resources like that?
There's a page on the website that lists all the ones that I know of, which is not everyone. So if anybody's missing, then please let me know, but that lists the local resources.
But the point of Esticated Connects is so that we all know of each other's resources, so that when people come to us, we can say, I can't help you, but I know of this other resource over here.
Yeah. So like if somebody goes to the food bank, they can say, hey, yeah, they're doing
Yeah.
laundry and here's how you can get laundry through Love One. So
Exactly.
That's the idea of
Exactly.
Esticated Connects.
So it eventually does get to the general public. But it's mostly so that we know what the local, so that I know like immediately who I can call if like someone needs laundry or something like that. That's what it's for, is to inform the resources of the community of the resources of the community.
Right. Where on the city website would we find that list?
So under residents is local resources.
Okay.
Is
Uh,
there a way that we could get some of these printed out for our tabling events?
Yes.
So that we're making sure it's getting out to the general public? Especially when
Yes.
we start talking about those who don't necessarily do internet and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I imagine we can look when you guys leave today, but there might already be some flyers up right as you come into City Hall. There's those little kiosks right there, and I know they have a lot of information from different agencies there.
Okay, so we can grab some stuff from there maybe before we leave tonight. All right, anything else? Hey, well, I close this meeting at 5:56. Everyone have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining us. Yeah.